committee and Mueller trying to get him there. Has it been the Justice Department who's been negotiating on his behalf? Are you in communication with him directly? Is the White House trying to assert his schedule?
Well, first of all, it leads us to wonder what they're afraid of. Remember, the Attorney General has told us repeatedly, and all the Republicans, Senator McConnell and others have told us that the finding of the Mueller report was no collusion, no obstruction. If that's true, why are they trying to hide it? It's obviously not true. But secondly, we were negotiating first with the Justice Department for a date for Mueller and then with Mueller himself.
And is Mr. Mueller willing to come in and testify?
I think he will be. The last communication we had with him, as far as I know, was just before the president suddenly said this. But I think he will be. And he will no longer be an employee of the Justice Department in a couple of weeks, at which point they can't tell him what to do at all. But again, even private citizens or employees of the Justice Department must testify for a congressional or a court subpoena. It's not optional. Unless they have a legal reason not to, and the so-called executive privilege is nonsense, period. And the American people have a right to that information, including information such as some of the questions you were raising. Was Mueller's investigation stopped by Barr? Was he told to stop? Was he told not to mention certain subjects in his report? Those are certainly questions we'll ask him.
One last question for you on this same front, Mr. Chairman. It occurs to me when I think about the questions that I have based on reading Mueller's report, the things that still seem like open questions and things where I can tell that they looked at it, but they didn't seem to state what they thought were the implications of what they found. I imagine that I would get the most out of hearing from Robert Mueller and from his investigators, from the people who were on his team, either from the FBI side or the Justice Department side, who were carrying out this investigation with him. Do you expect to be bringing in Mueller and his team, or Mueller alone?
Well, Mueller alone initially, and then McGahn, and presumably others from his team, and other witnesses. There are a lot of questions we have to ask a lot of people, and find out what's really going on, and elucidate for the American people what's really going on. Because the bottom line in this is not a fight between Mueller and the Trump administration or Mueller and Barr. The bottom line is, does the American people have the right to information with which they can make decisions in governing this as a democratic country? If you can vote, but you have no information, if the information is guarded by the administration and you don't know what the administration is doing, you don't know what crimes they're committing, you don't know anything, then the vote becomes very hollow. That's why this is such a crisis for our democracy, and we have to prevail here. We have never had a president who instructed people to ignore all subpoenas. And when you ignore a subpoena, you're ignoring a subpoena not just from Congress, but for information for the American people. And we've never had that before. And we have to vindicate the right of the American people to this information. We have to vindicate the fact that the president is not above the law, and that people can testify against him if they have something to testify about.
Chairman Jerry Nadler of the Judiciary Committee in the House, sir, you're in a very, very, very important job always, but particularly in this kind of confrontational moment. Thanks for helping us understand tonight. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right. I have other things to say and ask. I'll be right back. Stay with us. Judiciary Chairman Jerry Nadler, just a moment ago right here, said that President Trump's effort to stop Robert Mueller from testifying in Congress about his investigation is a lawless order. He just said that here on TV. He also said he believes that Robert Mueller wants to testify. He said that the committee is negotiating with Mueller directly. He also said that Mueller will not be a Justice Department employee anymore within a couple of weeks, suggesting that that may have an impact on whether the president can try to block Mueller's testimony. I have a whole bunch of questions about this. I feel like most of them should be answerable. I mean, Robert Mueller is the special counsel. Does anything in the special counsel regulations speak to this in terms of whether or not he's allowed to testify or the president can block him? Did the regulations anticipate this kind of thing? Did they give us any indication of how this might be resolved? Does it in fact matter whether Mueller is still a Justice Department employee if he quits the Justice Department?